What's your role in the occupation fights foreclosures?
I'm an activist. I'm a homeowners advocate.
Is that the so your title is
I'm just an activist. An activist with Occupy Foreclosures. I'm a homeowners advocate.
okay? And what have you done thus far in this particular occupation?
In this particular occupation, I did the initial interview with the family, find out what was going on. We immediately identified some uh, huge violations of the law against the family, and we brought it before our people, and we saw the need that we needed to act promptly and occupy the home and put the family back in here, make sure that they had someone that would stand with them and fight back against the abuses, not only by the financial corporation, but many other people that's supposed to be serving and protecting the family.
Yeah. So what's the situation of the foreclosure? Why was it fraudulent, or what happened?
Well, there's multiple things that went wrong over here. Uh, but basically, the bottom line is this. This family has been violated from the beginning of the origination of the loan by those people that sold the house to them. Later on, I'll get a little more details on that. But they went through some unfortunate things in their lives, loss of income, and immediately they notified the bank. They did everything correctly. They did everything that they were asked to do. Notify the bank of what was going on, apply for a loan modification, and they were giving a so-called loan modification that was doomed from the beginning of the process. And again, that's just some of the stuff that we have found. Besides the fact that the family did hire individuals to help uh, try to get some justice, and again, the justice never came to them because even through filings of bankruptcies has been violated. Their standing there regarding the bankruptcy, even though that there's a judgment by a bankruptcy court, has been ignored and violated, and that's just some of the stuff that we have found.
What was violated?
Well, the fact is that the judge had ruled that there's a stay on the eviction, and they had a previous date of October the 26th. Then it was moved to November the 30th, and it was ignored by the attorneys of Dutch Bank, and they literally instructed the sheriffs to proceed on the eviction. The family was evicted on part of the family was evicted on September the 27th, and again, that was against the protections of bankruptcy federal court.
So their bank account was Deutsche Bank.
Correct. They're the people that actually has the property now. They are the trustees, and it's a foreign bank that basically bought this loan, and now they forced the servicer to evict the family.
Do you think the whole loan modification, the reason you hear about a lot of loan modifications that go awry? Do you think the banks have some kind of agenda in holding off on the loan modifications until the houses are foreclosed on?
Loan modifications are fraud in themselves because they are not intended to really help the people. I mean, very few people get real help. Most of the time, homeowners are put through a series of paperwork where the paperwork is lost, misplaced. Applicants sometimes they apply multiple times, 3, 4, 5 times, and they're denied, and they find every excuse possible in the book not to give them a loan modification. Sometimes they do give them a loan modification, but they are full of traps and full of booby traps. You got to be able to be an expert to know what you're signing, to understand what is ahead of you, because only because you're receiving a loan modification doesn't mean that it's going to work out good for you at the end. Sometimes they're, like I say, they're full of traps, and you may be waiving some rights. On other occasions, they may be hiding some of the so-called help and given to you at the end of your mortgage. You know, they may be a balloon payment. I mean, there's so many things that they do, and it never stop amazing us how tricky they can be.
So what do you think should be done in place of the loan modifications?
Well, we have to take a really hard look at the whole picture here. There, 62 million Americans didn't wake up yesterday and decided to commit fraud. The banks did. They are the ones that created a system that was to fail, and they are the only ones that are benefiting by foreclosures. Homeowners are not benefiting, not in any way. So having that understanding, we need to know that the system has to change. The system is set right now just to benefit the banks. Whatever it may be, they are going to be benefited by it. So, you know, loan modifications may sound good or whatever, but the fact is that there has been trillions of dollars, trillions of equity dollars that has been lost by your average American homeowner, and not necessarily those that are in foreclosure. There's people that have been affected by this crisis that are up to date in their mortgages, yet they lost all the equity. That is terrible. That is, you know, un-American, and something needs to be done. So in my opinion, there has to be an adjustment on all loans on the base value of the properties of today's value. So those are some of the things that can be done. But we have to understand that if homeowners have invested so much money into their homes, all their life savings, you know, why is it that they, on a foreclosure, they will lose everything and nothing is given back to them? I mean, there's some serious crimes committed here. I mean, this is the greatest ripoff of all time. You're talking about senior citizens that save all their lives, that work all their lives, and all of a sudden they find themselves in a situation where they may lose everything that they work for. You know, that's insane.
Is this just something recent that has occurred over the past couple of years, or is it something?
No, it's been coming along. Basically, after certain regulations were removed, some banking regulations were removed, protections for consumers. Banks successfully lobby Congress and legislators to pass laws that actually benefited them, and to basically commit the crime of the century. So, in my opinion, this started when they started relaxing all the laws against protections for homeowners.
What were those laws that were passed?
Well, we have the Fred Stigall Act that was removed. That's the greatest loss that we have seen. And immediately after that, it was, you know, everything for the banks. We had the subprime mortgages that were introduced. That basically anybody, they would qualify anybody for a loan. People didn't have to literally show any documentation whatsoever, proof of any income, and they knew that by facilitating these loans, that all they had to do is pull back, wait, and the mortgages were going to fail, and they were going to benefit by them. What the banks did is they went to Las Vegas with the American people. They betted on the red and they betted on the black. No matter which way they bet, they were going to win. That's what happened with this foreclosure crisis.
Can you spell your last name?
Marroquin. Carlos.
One more question, I think. What has been your what have you specifically done here? I mean, do you like visit the house daily, or do you take care of the paperwork?
Yeah, I mean, I'm engaged in several things here. One of the primary things that I'm involved right now is contacting the bank. I'm in direct conversation with bank officials. Today I spoke to one of the top officials at the Dutch Bank. I have spoken also to the attorneys for Dutch Bank. I'm in touch with Sheriff's Department to educate them as to what has really happened here. And we're putting a lot of pressure on bank officials. We are holding Dutch Bank 100% responsible for what has happened here. They know what has happened. And one of the things that we informed them that there has been gross violations of U.S. laws here in this situation here, and I think that this needs to be fully investigated by the authorities, by the Department of Justice, and this is not an isolated situation with Deutsche Bank. We have so many homeowners that have been victimized by them, myself included. Deutsche Bank literally stole my home. I had over $300,000 of equity. I had won my case in the LA Superior Court back in 2007, and Deutsche Bank literally ignored the judge's decision and foreclosed on the property using fraudulent documents and stole my home. And I have all the proof. I mean, so this is nothing new. This is very personal, as a matter of fact. When I see this family being victimized by Deutsche Banks, I think of what has happened to me, and we're taking this personal. We are going to take it to the higher level, and we're going to demand that this bank be fully investigated for the crimes that they are committing against U.S. citizens.
Okay. Yeah, the light actually went out on the best part.
Yes, I think so too.
Can we move over towards this side a little more? And then, just so it's...
Go wherever we can go. One light's behind him, so I don't think it's going to work. Maybe if you come on this side right here, step back a little bit more. That might work better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, move this. Move it, yeah, that way.
Then maybe if we just the light on this side.
See, because the light's here, and if you maybe step back a little bit more. There. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, except...
You might want to come more over here, because it's good right here. See? Well, we got half of your face pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Well, except the right side of his face. Maybe if I use...
You can try it. Here, let me... Oh, you got... It's on? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Could you say again about your house? What happened with that?
Well, this is nothing new with what Deutsche Bank is doing here in the United States. They are committing major crimes, massive crimes against the American people, families. In my case, I was defrauded of my property. I had over $300,000 of equity, and Deutsche Bank received a fraudulent mortgage from Bank of America countrywide. And I did inform them of my case. They knew that I had a case at the LA Superior Court in 2007 in which the judge gave me back the house. He gave me title to the house, and they chose to ignore it, foreclosed using the fraudulent documents, and basically took me to a different court and proceeded to steal my home. And these are the major crimes that this bank is committed against the people. We have other homeowners. I'm not the only one. We have a lot of homeowners that have been victimized by this bank, and they need to be fully investigated by the Department of Justice, by the Obama administration, the FBI. They need to really take a look at what this bank is doing here in America against families and its people.
Yeah. Where do you live now?
Well, I rent a place, and that's part of the reason why I became a homeowner's advocate, because of what had happened to me. Bearing in mind, I was not behind payments. I was, enjoying over $300,000 of equity, and these people stole it, and basically nothing has been done about it. And up to this date, it's still the people that committed the crimes against my family are walking free and benefiting in every which way by their crimes. And unless things happen, we're going to continue to see families be victimized by Deutsche Bank.
So you live with your family then?
No, I suffer a separation of my marriage, and it destroyed my marriage on the account of what has happened to us. My kids has been deeply hurt by this, and these are the things that happen when there's foreclosures. It hurts families. It brings a break many times in relationships, and it destroys a community. Everything that we work for, is wiped away, and the banks just go about their business like nothing has happened, and they have all the protections by sometimes even the government that allows these things to continue, even though there's so much evidence against crimes that are being committed against the people.
Where do you receive your paycheck from?
I work. I have a regular job. I work for a living, and I'm proud to say that whatever we do here for the people, we're doing it as a volunteer, as a token of love, and a token of concern for the people, because we care, and this is why Occupy LA exists, is because we care what has happened to our country, what's happened to the families, what's happening to seniors, to our children, to our communities. It's time to think, to turn things around. We have with us Matt. Is a dear friend that I met. He's a young man, and he doesn't own a home, but when you hear of his passion that he's got about and the knowledge that he has obtained about what's happening with the foreclosures, he just fills you with hope, because you know that there is people that are waking up and that are alert and that are paying attention to what's going on. So if anything, I would like to introduce my friend to you, Matt Ward, and he's a dear friend of mine, and I came to know this guy in the movement, and again, we're fighting together, and this is the kind of things that has been created because of the crisis. The people are standing together now. We're fighting back, and we are not about to give up. If anything, we are going to intensify this, and we're going to fight even harder. We're going to push with both hands.
I noticed your Facebook profile name is Carlos Mailman, the Mailman.
Correct.
Does that have anything to do with the movement, or?
No, Carlos the Mailman. I'm actually employed by the U.S. Postal Service, and I has been working for the post office for 28 years, and everything that I worked for has been wiped away. One of the interesting things about Deutsche Bank is the fact that I served in the military here in the United States, and I served in Germany. I dedicated years of my life in Germany protecting the very people that are ripping me off. Well, not the people, but the government, not the government, excuse me, the bank, those people, those financial institutions that we protected, now they are the ones that are stealing from me, or that have stolen from me.
I saw you in the city council meeting on Tuesday, and you got up and during the public comment section. You were talking about Bank of America, correct?
Correct.
And how they have fraudulent lending practices. Like, could you say a little bit more about that? Like, what Bank of America is doing wrong, especially?
Well, Bank of America, just like many other banks, again, have been engaged in ways to take advantage of a system that they created, and basically are ripping off the American people. They are destroying families, and we have so much evidence. And by the way, there has been multiple investigations that have conclusive information that there has been massive fraud committed against families by Bank of America, and yet nothing has happened to them. And we are not going to rest until some of these people go to jail, put to prison, and the people be given back some kind of compensation, or even their homes that were stolen from them. It is immoral. We are totally disgusted with what they have done to the people. When we see families being thrown out to the streets because they did everything right, they applied for the modifications that they were led to believe that they were going to obtain, or because they mishandled the payments, or because they simply didn't care and lost paperwork. It's a shame, and these people need to pay for what they've done to the people.
Let's see, there's one more question. I'm trying to think of it here. I see. You also, oh yeah. What do you think is the main goal of this Occupy Fights Foreclosures at this particular house? What do you think is
At this particular house, we're gonna make sure that this family gets justice, that they are kept in their home. We discussed it with the family, and this is what the family wants. They want to stay in their home. This is their home to them for 16 years. Their kids were raised here, and they want this home. They never wanted a free home. They were happy making their payments. They love this neighborhood. This is a very modest neighborhood. These are very modest people, hardworking people. Sometimes they work 2 and 3 or 4 jobs to try to make ends meet, and they never have a problem making payments. And we want to make sure that these people are given the opportunity that they deserve and to continue to making the payments that they can afford. And because of the crimes that were committed against them, I think that something else needs to be done now and compensate this family for their losses and for what they have been put through. And we are going to stand with them no matter what. We are committed. They have become our family, and anyone that is hurting out there in foreclosures, we understand it because many of us have suffered loss through foreclosures. So we are committed to helping them.
What were you doing when you first were evicted from your house? What was your occupation?
I was a mailman.
Oh, you were
I was still a mailman. And,
okay.
Right.
Okay. And how long do you think this siege is, or this occupying that house is going to last?
This one, is very unpredictable. We don't know. We prefer to go for the long haul. We understand that there are multiple foreclosures in this entire neighborhood. The last count that we had, they have over 500 people that are in default. We have over 500 families that their homes have been sold to trustee sales. There are over 300 homes that are bank owned now. So there's a major crisis going on in this neighborhood. So we are here now not only to help this family, but to the neighborhood. We're going to be reaching out to the neighborhood. We're going to talk to the families that are losing their homes. We want them to participate. We want them to engage, and we want local officials to also understand that they have a responsibility to their neighborhood, to their districts, to those people that they swore to protect and defend and represent. And we want to know what are they going to do about helping these families.
Okay, thanks.